paper to show you.
Okay. You're on. Okay, folks, Neil Pye here, coming to you live from Parelli Central in beautiful Pagosa Springs. Pat, welcome.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Really good. We're excited. This is the first time we've done this for I think about 3 years. About 3 or 4 years ago, we did some regular webinars for not only Savvy Club members, but also our instructors and professionals, and they were well received, but different things happened, and we had some challenges, but we think we've got them ironed out now. So this is going to be really the first of probably every 3 months we touch base and talk about horses, horsemanship. Pat, I'm excited to be here. Welcome.
Thank you. You know, you're talking about the technology. Remember when we first tried this? It was like a fumble fest. So now technology's more on our side, so it's pretty exciting.
So it's like a fireside chat without the fire, because mind you, we could have had the fire here the other day. I've just flown in from Australia, and the day I arrived, it started snowing again, so it took us all by surprise. But we've got everything happened. The campus is up and just about ready to roll. And so what we're going to do, folks, you've heard about this, I guess, about 24 hours ago. The good news is we've had tons of questions come in. So in this next 60 minutes, that's what we've got, just under an hour now. We're going to cover your questions. There's horsemanship questions. We've also got course questions as well. Lots of questions about the campus and what they should bring and what they should expect. And at the end, we've got something really special we want to share with you as well. But Pat, let's get into it. First question, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First question from Julie from Spain. She says, I've passed level 3 in all savvies and want to continue progressing with my horse. If you could give me only 3 pieces of advice to help in my horsemanship journey, what would they be? I already have most of the online resources, DVDs, etc. So 3 pieces of advice for Julie from Spain.
I think it's pretty easy. Number one is, you know, when we operate with a horse, they think in the moment. So what we have to do is we have to have feel. It's all about feel and a feeling. So do your thinking at night, do your studying at night. We used to tell people when they got the DVDs, watch them, then watch them in with the sound off and just watch the picture. Then put a blanket over the television or something like that and just listen to it as an audio tape. You know, go about, clean the house, do something like that. Learn how to use the study material in lots of different ways. Do it at night. So then during the day, it comes to you just like that. I think that's my first piece. Second thing is, got to put a lot of time in. I don't know if you know how many saddles I've worn out, how many pairs of jeans and chaps I've wore out.
How many?
A lot. I mean, but it's
no.
I know you're being funny, but when people see my equipment and stuff like that, it's the only kind of thing I can tell you that you got to put the time in. So spend as much time, invest as much time as you can. The other thing is, if you're gonna want to soar like an eagle, don't fly with turkeys. In other words, be very, very particular who you study with, what you study, and stay on task. You know, expect a lot of yourself, accept a little, and reward yourself often.
Well done. So Julie, I hope we're so glad you sent the question in. So Julie from Spain, she actually got 3 questions there, and they were solid answers. The next one is from Jane, and I'm not sure where, but people from all over the world are calling in. I have a very flighty 2-year-old part-bred well-sectioned D mare. She feels tight in her body and gets genuinely very anxious, heart racing, sweating when challenged. I can now catch, halter, groom, and rub her without issue, although she's still tight. She's inquisitive, and I've tried to embrace this. I have tried the friendly game with the rope gently swishing on her, but she gets upset, snorting, and trying to run away. My question is, how much should I push this? What am I looking to see that she is trying, and when do I quit?
Well, you know, there's an old saying, I learned it in Australia, softly, softly, catch monkey. That only works here or there. And there's a lot of difference between being soft and sneaky. What happens to a lot of people is that when they've got a horse like this, they kind of try to go easy, you know, it's okay, and try not. What we have to do is remember that if our horse is afraid of blackbirds, get him used to eagles. In other words, like one of you may have seen several things where I've taken somebody and pretend like the lead rope is a jump rope, and just keep doing it softly, but keep doing just even if you go halfway, and then get it bigger and keep going and going until they sit there and they might snort and blow and go all over the place, but just you be polite and just be persistent, and when they relax, you relax. So I would take a situation like this, I'd take this, and this is one of the things, you know, I try to describe myself as a horseologist. I study horses' behavior and I try to understand how to use horse psychology. But for you, I'm trying to be your success coach. So what I would do is a success coach for this person is I would try to get them in touch with one of our instructors. So I don't know, as I say here, Jane, where you're from, but make sure that you either get on Parelli Connect and ask questions there. You can ask questions directly to my page, Linda's page. We've got instructors all over the world that can help you with hands-on. So that's really the way I'd go about this.
And if you're here in North America, maybe you can get to one of our courses, but we'll see. Folks, just a couple of shout outs. We've got people coming in from all over the world. I know we've got folks down in Australia. Hello, everyone there. We know you're doing a course down there, and Fiona's looking after you. I think you're on day 5 there. So it's great to know that you're here watching. Our next question is from Carol from Northern California. We are planning to haul our horse from Northern California to the Parelli campus. How far do you feel we should travel per day, and how often should we stop, take the horse off the trailer, etc.?
Well, first of all, it depends on what kind of trailer. Because if it's straight ahead trailer, I would take them off more than I would at the slant load. Slant load of horses that are traveling backwards can haul a lot longer. My horses go usually somewhere between 8 and 12 hours. And here's the big secret. When you stop for fuel, when you stop for anything, a horse can lock his legs and he can relax. As long as there's nothing moving around, bumping around. You know, a lot of times with horses, we'll get them off on it takes 3 days to get from Colorado to Florida, Florida to Colorado. We'll take them off in the evenings, but a lot of times we'll stop and we go for lunch, and those horses just get an hour's rest and they can lock. And a horse only rests about 3 hours a day. So that might be another piece of information for you. So once a day, that's what I would do. If it feels better to you to do it more, you can. Just make sure your horse loads good.
Yeah, and actually Carol's got a whole stack of questions, but I'll ask another one, but then we'll go on to some others as well. She says, what is the best way to know which level class to take?
Well, if you'll go to our website, you'll see how the classes are described. We have classes for 3 types of people. Number one, we have people who are studying levels 1 through 3, recreational riders want to have an education vacation. Second type of classes we have are for people who are going to on their way to becoming professionals. All right,
and they're handier.
And now we've got 4-week long and 10-week long courses for them. All right. The third class that we have is that Linda and I have a secret menu. We have VIP classes, and we have courses, and we have some master classes that we'll be teaching this summer. They're not advertised yet, but those are for people that really would like to spend as much time with Linda or myself. And, you know, of course, Linda's got a little more English slant. I've got a little more Western slant. But both are in horsemanship. So those are the basic ones. And I also have a mastery program. It's a post-level 4 graduate program. Those are the situations. So if you're wanting to come have an education vacation, I would just go right to our website and you'll see all the classes there. We've got some that are just on the ground. We've got a lot of 1-week classes that are hooked, so you can hook them up 1 week to another to another.
Sure. So you can mix and match a bit. And folks, I've been blessed to be able to do this for a long time as a student, and then been involved in the campuses all around the world. And if you can ever get to do a 4-week course, it often changes everything, because you can study and you can be as keen and look at life from the horse's point of view. But if you can find your way to invest in the time and the finances to get yourself to the campus, that 4 weeks can set you up for success. We used to call it a fast track for the last couple of years, but now it's called the Foundation of Horsemanship.
It's an immersion.
And you live and breathe it, and I'm not
going to tell you. And with other people that are living and breathing.
But that's my point. You'll make breakthroughs. You'll enjoy it. You're going to strike challenges. You'll know where you're at in time and space, and sometimes that's exciting, and sometimes it's confronting. But you gather with people that are in the same journey. You've got people that understand the process because they've been through it too. And I'm biased, but if you can immerse yourself in 4 weeks in the Foundation of Horsemanship, it'll change it forever. And if you were one day interested in becoming a professional, that is not only there for your horsemanship, but we get to know you and know that you've tipped your hat, that maybe one day when your horsemanship is at a standard, you might want to become another Parelli professional. Sure. So that's the Foundation of Horsemanship. Yeah. And they're all around at Parelli centers in different parts of the world. So. Yeah. All right, here we go. Hendrik from Germany. Hello to everyone in that part of the world. I'm a level 4 student. Here is my question. When working with a very sensitive quarter horse that is truly in all four horsenalities at home and reacts very quickly and intensely to the energy of a human, where does making her emotionally fit start and changing my behavior and energy according to her needs end? Did you get that?
Well, it seems a lot like the first question. This is one of those things where every horse has its own horsenality based on four things: innate characteristics, learned behavior, environmental influences, and spirit. And also, probably the other thing that comes in there when you come under environmental influences is age. I don't know. When we've got a horse that the longer this goes on, the tougher it becomes. I was trying to help a lady the other day with a 28-year-old Arabian that had this exact thing all of its life.
Yeah.
Well, it's feasible to do this, but it's harder. So, the number one thing is for you to understand to do things with your horse and for your horse, and never do anything to your horse. And I'm going to say, if people always ask me, what's the difference between you and so and so and so, and I can say, I don't know about anybody else, but I know what we do. We teach people as success coaches for horse lovers. We teach people to do things with their horse and for the horse, to prepare the horse for the human environment. So again, this might even be something, Henrik, that you get with one of our instructors in your area. It'd be probably pretty hard for you to come over here, but we are going to be next weekend in Switzerland, in the French part of Anche. So those are some of the possibilities for you.
So if you can get your way over there, because everything's close in Europe. So that's next Saturday, the 23rd, one day with Linda and Pat Parelli. We'll be there. We'd love to see you. Question from Nori. Doesn't say where. My husband and I will be coming up for a few days before the courses, and I would like to see the campus, especially since he is the one making all this possible. Well done.
Good,
what a good husband.
husband.
Can I bring him on the campus Friday, Saturday, or Sunday before the start of the clinic? Another question is, are we allowed to ride around the campus or just be with our horses on the weekend?
Okay. Well, first of all, your husband's always welcome.
Yeah.
And we have this a lot of times.
Sure.
Some spouse,
someone's
best
got
friend.
to support you. Yeah.
Absolutely, more than welcome. Second thing about your riding around on the campus on the weekends, can you stay there? Of course you can. And the only part I would ever say it all depends is that if our success coaches thought that you and your horse were not safe out of an arena or something like that, we would give you advice not to do that. But we've got 1,200 acres. We're surrounded by a national forest, thousands and thousands and thousands of acres. And on top of that, just a short trailer ride away, you can go up into the Sierra Mountains. Used to live in California, up into the Rocky Mountains, and you can ride until your heart's desire.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a flatlander. I'm from Sydney, Australia. So the Rocky Mountains is something you hear and dream about, but I've been blessed to spend the last 20 summers here, and I can tell you there's nothing like this place in the world. So if you can find your way here, we'd love to share it with you. All right, Marie from Charleston, South Carolina says, I have a 15-year-old right-brained introvert, left-brained introvert quarter horse, and we are playing in levels 2, 3-ish. She can be quite challenging as she needs a lot of time to process, and our progress some days is pretty slow. I want to bring it to the 4-week foundation of horsemanship, which we just talked about, so that's going to change everything. And after we finish our level 3, would it be better to wait and bring her once I passed level 3, or should I lease a horse?
I think, first of all, this is one of my favorite kind of students that come to our campus, because for 4 weeks, we have got time to immerse, time to give success coaching firsthand. A lot of stuff, we get questions like this, and it's a little bit like asking a doctor, which, this, and they go, well, take 2 aspirins and call me in the morning. I don't like to give people that answer. I would love to have Marie be there for our success coaching so we can evaluate her and her horse, because it's a 2-part situation. She's told us a lot about her horse,
sure, but
I don't know that much about her. How confident are you?
Good.
How much experience do you have? How competent are you? And these are some things that that are all in the mix. And this is why success coaching is something that is best given live. So I'd love to see Marie come.
And especially
to this 4-week.
And like I said, as someone who's traveled over here all the time, and so many people do from around the world, of course we have to lease a horse. But I say, if you can get your horse and you can bring it here, I mean, it'll change everything, and you'll be different after this foundation.
It's about the relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, and there's lots of horses that want divorces. That's why their owners should graduate our courses. And I would rather help the horse and the human together, rather than just, okay, let me help you with one of my horses. You're going to go home. You're going to go, I want to buy your horse. I'd really rather help you with your horse.
Okay, next question is from Mandy. It doesn't say where. My question is this: because the Pagosa Springs campus is at such altitude, of which I and many others may not be used to, what prep can I take to prepare my body for such extreme experiences of oxygen depletion at the altitude? I've heard of some students getting some sort of altitude sickness.
I don't know the answer to that, to be honest with you, because I have never gotten it, and I know we've had students that have gotten it. So
I had a headache once or twice early in the, but this is what I learned. Someone said plenty of water, keep hydrated, plenty of water.
I always tell people put lemon juice in their water.
Yeah.
But you could ask your doctor that. That is, you know, we're at 75, 800 feet, 8,000 foot elevation. So I don't know where you live. You know, go over the mountains a couple of times getting there. But
here's what I do know. Once you get there, at first you're a bit big-eyed because it's all so new, and you're surrounded by mountains, and it's just wonderful. But you pretty much get into the curriculum pretty quick, and you've got people with you. Before you know it, you're going and you're blowing, you're learning, you're seeing things. You know, I wouldn't be too worried about altitude sickness. You might want to go home.
Yeah.
That's what I found.
Well, you know, several people have. I ran into a realtor the other day, and she has been here almost the same amount of time. We have, you know, 20 years. And she says it's unbelievable the amount of students that have purchased second homes and moved here completely here in Pagosa Springs. You know, it's a small little town. It's only a town of about 1,600 people, all said and all in, without the second home people that live here in the winter for skiing or in the summer for the summer. So it was pretty interesting when she said that. I hadn't quite thought of that.
Okay, all right. Here's another horsemanship question. Pam in Texas says, I have rehomed lovely 7-year-old Arab mare. She is very spooky, and I've tried everything. When I work with her, she takes that as a threat. She'll do what I ask her with her head so high and tail up, never calm, never happy. Pat, what can I do?
This is where polite and passive persistence in the proper position is practice. This is where you've got to be persistent until it comes down. If you play and wherever you stop, see, that's what savvy is, knowing when to be, where to be, why to be, what to do when you get there, and when to quit doing what you're doing. The secret is when you quit, whatever state of mind they're in, that's where they're thinking they're supposed to get the next time. So if you kind of go 10 minutes and it should have taken 20, or 20 minutes and it should have taken 40, you better hang in there. And this is where a lot of things, for example, going sideways and going backwards, cause horses to think a whole lot more. So when I hear this, I hear right brain extrovert with a high spirit. That's what I hear. All right. And now, instead of going softly, don't get the blood up, don't get the adrenaline up, what we've got to do is we've got to work until that horse gets soft-eyed, soft, relaxed. We've got to play with that horse's nature. And so I would say, just kind of as a general blanket, that most people quit too soon, and most hardcore horse trainers do too much. Okay, so somewhere in the middle. And having a plan. Again, another great example of come to our campus or see one of our instructors. Hey, what about this one? Sue from Washington, how many courses that you offer would count toward my professional pathway? All of them. One of the things we want you to do besides learn something is we want to share with you our core values. And if you can understand how we use love, language, and leadership with each other, with our and teammanship and all these sort of things. This is really the stuff that, you know, this gives us a chance to see if you're cut out for it, and gives you a chance to see if this is really the environment that you want to immerse yourself in, and something you want to go on. So all of the courses are counting toward your courses, the amount of weeks that you need to become a professional.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing, of course, it's about your horsemanship, but for this to continue with the growth that we've experienced in the last 20, it's critical what you're like too. Is this something, because this is going to be a horse thing, but absolutely a people thing. And it's a good way to come and immerse yourself and be around people and see the ethos of it as well. Of course, everything is the horses and that, but we're looking for people that get the big picture as well.
Yeah, this is a we thing.
Yeah, so
this isn't even about me. This is, you know, as far as I know, nobody gets out of here alive. And I want this to go on way, way, way beyond my days. I want my great, 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 great grandchildren and yours to be able to
don't have this get lost again like it did there for 40, 50 years there for a while. The art of horsemanship got lost. The horses become a throwaway recreational thing.
Yeah, and so this is really something that we're thinking about from a perpetuity point of view. So this is why we have an instructor program, why we have a professionals program, why we have a campus. When Linda and I first started this idea on the campus, we were traveling on the road 12 months a year. And the only thing we do is park the motorhome and put our horses at a friend's house or something. And we would go to Australia.
In February and November?
In February and November, and sometimes over to Europe. We were traveling all the time. And our thought was, could we find a place that was beautiful, green, and not too hot? Green and hot pretty much go around the country here. That's what it takes. It takes warm, hot summers and rain. So you have to be up in the mountains. So what we were looking for was an eagle's nest. We thought if only we could stop the wheels for about 3 or 4 months and get off the road and have a place so that we can invite our most enthusiastic students to come spend the summers with us, a lot like you did. Sure. And this is why we
Eagle's Nest literally and metaphorically.
Absolutely. As it turned out, being up high in the mountains. And the little did we know that not only this was something that we were passionate about, but we've had several thousand students come through there. This is our 20th season. Okay, we've done 19 seasons behind us now, and we are the wonderful spirit that lives there from all the people. And any of you that are listening right now that have been on campus, and when I come in to visit with you in your class or anything like that, almost invariably I'll say, I want to thank you for the spirit that you're leaving here, because it just builds, and people feel it when they get there. I mean, it's a special place, number one. The mountains are there, the hot springs are there. It's in Southwest Colorado. We've got, not far from Santa Fe, the Wolf Creek Pass, where you go over the Great Divide. You can go to Mesa Verde, you can go to the Moab, to the rocks, and all of these things. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that when they had the harmonic convergence,
they had what?
Harmonic convergence, and people went to all these special places on the earth. This was one of them. Mount Shasta was another. This was one of those special places. There is a special feeling in Pagosa Springs, but particularly on our place. And so we love having people there, and we love this feeling. So one of the things I try to tell people all the time is we bought this place and built this place for special people just like you. So we want to keep that going.
As you notice, Pat's got a bit of an accent. I don't, but he does. And what I notice, and I
because I'm born in St. Patrick's
Day. 20 seasons on, when you come to the ranch, it's all those things Pat said. But I love the people thing, and you're going to hear accents, people from all around the world come. And what's great is obviously we're all there with the common goal to learn about our horses, but you learn about people.
Do you remember this? We were standing out in the, it must have been mid-morning, and we had a group of Canadians, we had a group of Americans, and we had a group of Australians, all right? And all the Australians had jackets on, all the Canadians had T-shirts on, and all the Americans had just a regular shirt on. And every one of them was, man, it's a perfect day. Sure. Oh, geez, it's chilly. And then the Canadians are, oh, wow, it's bloody hot down here. So,
but it's funny, when everyone comes in, at first everyone's nervous, and am I going to be the worst or the best? Everyone goes through all that, but at the end of it all, look, it's something you'll never forget. If you come and spend time, and if you could spend especially a few weeks, it'll be a summer and an experience that'll change you forever. Of course, your horsemanship is one of people. So anyway,
and I think one of the things that people really enjoy, the campfires every Wednesday night. They enjoy it. I love seeing. This is one of the only things I get to voyeur is when Linda comes riding through on one of her warm blood horses, prancing through campus, and people are like, oh, I can't believe it. Linda's come to see us. And so it's really a great thing. It's the thing that has really made our life really worth living. It's been made it memorable for lots of other people.
And Sarah says, can they have drop-in visitors if you come? Of course you can. The answer is sure.
We get, and it says, when's the best time to stop by? About 10:30 in the morning. That's usually the best time. We get an average of about 12 visitors a day. We love having visitors. Every Wednesday night we have a barbecue and a campfire, and sing along, play guitars and stuff like that. So if you have an instrument, bring it.
Yeah.
But we get 200 to 300 people at that campfire. People from town that live here, people that are visiting Coastal Springs. So yeah, we love visitors.
And come and have a tour. We do that all. Shelley Morris from Thompson, Georgia says, how do I get my horse to stand still for mounting? One, he is super playful, and one is super introverted. Neither of them stand still.
Oh, I see. That's two different horses.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wonder what the common thing is.
Yeah. How do I get my horses to stand still for mounting? Well, that all depends. That's the only answer that is for sure. But you know, one of the things is how do we get a horse in the mood to stand still? All right. One thing I'm going to warn you about right now is with introverts, they'll stand still, but they're scared stiff. And that's one of the things I warn people out. You might be standing still, but is he sitting here braced up and ready to go? So one of the things is to make sure you know what side of the corral your horse woke up on. So not just playing the 7 games. And I'm presuming most people here understand what I mean by that. There are 7 psychological games that horses play with each other and that we teach people as success coaches to do with their horse. It's winning those games. You've got to win your horse's respect. So not standing still is part of not having your horse's respect. But now, let's think about something. In order for a horse to stand still and be able to stand there for you to mount, do his feet need to be narrow in the front and wide in the back, or narrow in the back and wide in the front? If you guessed the second one, you guessed it right. So there's a lot of things we can do. We can rock the saddle horn every time he steps with his left front foot, just pull the saddle horn until he finally braces and says, hey, I won't. You can't do that to me. So there's a lot of things. We've got all that material in our videos. We've got it in the Savvy Club. We've got it on Parelli Connect. We've got it in my book, Natural Horsemanship by Pat Parelli. It's a Western Horseman book. So exactly that technique I'm talking about there, but it's more about getting your horse in the mood to behave.
And you know, it's interesting when you're at the ranch, you're there long enough. Of course, you'll learn the 7 games, but you mentioned not only play them, but play them till you win them. But we've got a better way. You're there long enough, not only win them, but in such a way the horse doesn't feel like a loser. And that's the key to the whole psychology aspect. We've got a lot of folks can do mechanical things and use techniques with horses, but can you win them so that the horse still feels, like a winner himself?
And I've been a cowboy all my life, but I love going to the beach. And one thing I learned,
can't miss him on the beach.
No, you can't miss me. And I have gone surfing with my hat on. That's a true story. But what I really admire about surfers is that there's all these guys out there, and they're watching each other, and it's this little, if you can see it, you can believe it. When you see somebody else that can do something, and then pretty soon you're like, well, I can't. I'm going to be able to do that someday. Whatever, now they do cooler.
It's a positive peer pressure.
It is, and cooler and cooler things. That's what happens on campus. Is that now all of a sudden there's someone next to you. Instead of someone talking about it, someone typing it in on Facebook or something, you're seeing someone right next to you, and you're thinking, gee, I'm not that far behind that. I get it. I can see sometimes just having that, seeing somebody else that's, a lot like you, maybe your age group, maybe your confidence group, maybe whatever, your same type of horse, and you see them doing it, that's where all of a sudden they're like, you might go, wow, look, that's all it's going to take for me to get to do that.
It's funny, we've got a friend in England too who says there's a huge parallel, he thinks, between horse riding and surfers. He said surfing is,
really?
nature, mother.
I thought I was the only one that did that.
No, he says, well, let's face it, the wave comes in the surf, it's nature, it's field timing and balance. You've got to have courage, you've got to have judgment. And he says horses is a bit like surfing on the land, because again, you're on something, there's an emotion, he said, and there's rhythm. You've got to have courage, you've got to have judgment. And so he says he looks at the surfing culture and the natural horsemanship culture and says there's lots of parallels. So it was interesting to hear you say that. Next question. Deanne says, I have a horse that is very tall and leggy. He pulls his long front leg away from the farrier, me, and walks forward or leans all his weight on the farrier or me. He also resists having the farrier hold his back leg up.
Well, you know, we have a lot of stuff in our Savvy Club about this. Done several articles, videos, and stuff like that. Easiest thing you have to do is you have to understand that that horse has leverage on you. The only way you're going to get leverage on that horse is with the rope. Take your 12-foot rope. Now, I'm presuming you're a Parelli student, but take a 12-foot rope, take the snap on, and it's really easy. You just unfold the rope. Let me show you something. I'm going to take my Savvy string here so I can show you what I'm talking about. If you will take your lead rope, there is a little eye in it like this, okay? And how your snap is put on there is we put the snap on, we run it through here, and then that's what holds your snap on, all right? So now undo that, put the snap over there on the shelf and do this. Take that rope and make a noose out of it. Put it on your horse's ankle. And now you can stand up and you can put that on his ankle and you can play the leverage game back with him. It's much easier to be polite and passively persistent that way. But as soon as you bend over and try to hold on to him when he doesn't want it, and this is only one thing. If you win all 7 games, you're going to win his respect. So this is also a matter of
it's feedback. He's just uncooperative. Which part of no do you not understand?
Yeah. So that's kind of a detail, but the real concept is get him to act like a partner by winning his respect, by winning the 7 games.
Because he doesn't want to, because that's the symptom. He doesn't want to pick his foot up.
Would there be a chance or even the time to take 2 horses to a course? Well, the answer is yes. Just pay a little extra board. You can bring whatever horse. But here's what we recommend when people do this, and we've had this happen before. If you bring a horse, don't do one horse in the morning and the other horse in the afternoon, because what our success coaches do is it's a build-on thing. They're working with you as an individual, with you and your horse, and with the group going, we're going to build some momentum. We'll do this. Get up early, stay up late. You know, in the summertime here, I mean, it doesn't get dark until 9:30 or so. Yeah. And this is the kind of thing where, you know, if you want to do that, we'd love you to be able to do that. Availability.
I was about to say,
stalls,
that's the only, just please check, because usually we can, but occasionally for that full.
Yeah. So
the answer is yes.
The answer is basically yes, but I want you to come with the right thought that, oh, I'll nominate one horse. That's the horse that I want hands-on coaching with. The other horse, I'm gonna try to go through and apply my learning before or after the course is going on that day.
All right, the next question is from Amanda Palatine from Illinois. My 8-year-old left-brain introvert is very rushy in his backup. It almost seems to be a reaction rather than a response. When I ask for a 9-step backup, he drops his head to the ground and backs up at the speed of light. This happens in both hackamore and confidence bit. I get to step 1 of the 9, he dives down, rushes back.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I would try to solve the problem on the ground first. Put your hand on his nose, backing him up, that sort of thing. See what you've got there. But another thing is put something, back him into a corner. You know, like have him be about 2 feet away from the corner, not 20 feet so he smashes into the panels, but just have him a couple of feet from the corner, and just slow as you can with your hands, or if you're riding, and just let him feel that going just back a little bit. Now don't press too much, because remember, horses are born skeptics, cowards, claustrophobics, and panicaholics. So don't do this too fast so he panics. But this way you can have something other than you. See, one of the secrets to horsemanship is to get a horse to fix it up and wait, and get the horse to blame it on himself. Yeah. You know, it's like if you bump your head on something and you know, and you get mad at yourself. You go, oh dang it, I hit that thing I hit. You ever do it in a small airplane? You get up and boom, hit your head on the luggage rack. Well, you don't get mad at somebody, but now if somebody pushes you and you bump your head, you might kind of get a little swarthy there, right? So, yeah, something like that. Upset. And same thing with the horse. Try to do things with the horse and for the horse so that he gets a good learning experience and it becomes his new modus operandi. Okay. That would be the stuff I would do.
We've got an interesting question here from a Linda in Ocala. Darling, what time will you be home for dinner? I wonder who that's from.
Well, it's not going to be tonight. Linda's, in case you don't know, Linda's in Ocala. That's great. Linda's in Ocala right now, and I'm going to be there Saturday afternoon.
Come on.
I'll be home Saturday night for dinner. And
What time?
I don't know. You and I are going to. Well, I think I get there around 2 o'clock in Orlando, so 4 or 5 o'clock. But you and I are going to head out Saturday morning, and you're heading all the way to Switzerland.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Serena, who's listening, hello, Serena. 10:30 at Zurich Airport. Don't forget me.
I will.
I've got 20 Swiss francs on me.
I will get a taxi from the airport to the house, and I'll see you then.
Let me see, Linda. That's Babs. This is from Babs. Hi, Pat. I have a Percheron mare, and when she hears noises, she is affected by. She tends to go right brain extrovert, and I think she isn't even aware I'm there. She is normally a left brain introvert and very, very smart.
Well, you know, one of the best draft horse men that I know. His name is Steve, and now my niece is married.
Family now. He's
family.
Yeah.
And
family.
Anyway, Nate Bowers is the son of Steve Bowers, and Steve has taught Nate, and Nate's done the video for us, and he says that sight, sound, and feel is what a draft horse. But this applies to any horse. Sight, sound, and feel. So no matter what it is, the more that we call it controlled catastrophe. Set the situation up where you're in a situation where you're the one that says, okay, take your study buddy, one of your friends, and say, okay, Sally, make the noise now. Okay, don't let it be a surprise to you, because what usually happens is the horse jumps and we jump, whether we're on the ground or in the other thing is we've got to have our horse really prepared with, like, for example, the yo-yo game. You've got to be able to back him up or sideways. You've got to be able to get him off of you. So you're right. The horse that probably doesn't know that you're there anymore because she's gone into self-preservation mode.
Acting like a predator.
And she's not only on adrenaline, she's now probably got tons of, gallons of cortisol going through her system. And so now she is in this right-brained survival mode. And what she cares about is herself. And we've all seen horses do unbelievable acts of strength when they're afraid, crash through fences, jump things, do all kinds of stuff. So this is something that what we have to do. And it says here, my left brain introvert is very, very smart. So she's normally very, very, very smart. I'm sure she's smart, but when, like, even the smartest person, when they panic, and the most intelligent person, when they panic, this is where they'll do the darndest, most ridiculous things. So this is where, if you kind of go back to Kung Fu Panda or something like that, where you study martial arts, and the whole idea is to get mental and emotional fitness as well as physical fitness. I read something the other day about martial arts, and it said, and I think it was a quote from Bruce Lee, and it said, it's not about training your body, but it's about training your mind and your emotions to control your body. And that's what this is like martial arts with and for your horse.
And she's a big unit too. She's a Percheron mare, so you don't want to jump around. I mean,
better get that horse to back up, and I mean, not just 2 or 3 feet. That horse got to. That's why we have 22-foot ropes, so you can teach your horse to get back and go over there. And when you set this up, put her all the way back 15, 20 feet away from you. So you've got her back there, and then do the noise, and then do something about it. So you've got some time.
Well done, Babs. Hope that helps. From Alberta, Canada, it's Alicia, and she says, hi, Pat. I have 11-year-old gelding. He can be nervous, untrusting at times while working on the ground. While riding, he can be unwilling and stubborn. He is especially unwilling to make right turns. How should I address these issues?
This is why we are in business.
He's not cooperative.
Yeah, he's not cooperative, but this is one of those things. People think like people typically, and horses think like horses. So what our job is as success coaches is to teach humans to think like horses. But it's also our jobs to teach people to think like horses so they can teach their horses to think differently. Not necessarily like a human, but in the end, not only do humans become horsemen, but horses become horsemen. A horse that has gone through that has become a level 4 graduate, they forever are changed. They forever think differently. I can think of some of the most challenging horses, and I used to go out of my way to get them, Casper and Magic, horses like that.
Breed them.
And thank you.
Yeah,
Reminded me.
Problem horse breeding program going there for a while.
Challenging horse.
Oh yeah, well, it felt like a problem, not a challenge.
So all of these things can be solved, first of all, on the ground. It's the safest, easiest way. And a horse needs to, what we have to do is we have to teach a horse three things. Number one is to be confident. Number two is to know how to yield to and from pressure and to make sense of pressure. And number three is to have a purpose. So I would say that numbers 1 and 2 are where your challenges are right now. If your horse doesn't turn to the right, it's because he doesn't know how to yield. He knows how to lean against pressure, but he doesn't know how to yield to and from pressure is what I would say. So just follow our, we've got the new 4 Savvies by the Slices. Get our new level 1 by the slice, and your answers will be there. And again, Alberta, Canada, we've got instructors up in Canada. I would go there.
From the UK, Susie requests, what are the accommodations like at the campus at Pagosa? Do you have lease horses? Yes, we do. And if I'm coming from overseas?
Yeah, you got lots of choices.
Yeah.
First of all, on the ranch, we have RV sites. We have cabins with 4 beds in them. But there's also lots of condos, hotels, motels in town. So there's actually lots and lots of choices, all the way to it's almost pretty close to a 5-star hotel at the Springs. It is a fabulous. I know Oprah stayed there one night, and they call it the Oprah or the O Room or something like that. But and they've got the spa open 24 hours and all that kind of stuff. So the accommodations there are lots of choices. And then the other thing is, yes, we have lease horses. Just need to let us know. We have horses that are level 3 and 4 graduates that we lease out, trying to match your not only your personality, but your goals and your past experiences with horses. How confident are you? How experienced are you? How good of a rider?
It's a bit like Harmony.com. We sort of try and we don't just give you any horse.
Pretty darn close.
And actually, in not only do we have some, but also we've got a wonderful network now. And actually, out at the ranch today, we were with the externs that were there for 10 weeks. And about half of them had lease horses, and they were the best quality lease horses I've seen in my 20 seasons.
Yeah. I was impressed.
Yeah. All right. So Susie in the UK, hope that helps.
Linda, my question is, how can I get my 12-year-old Arabian to go into a trot willingly without pinning his ears, throwing his head,
drinker of the desert wind,
trotting like his tail is on fire?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. First of all, we were talking about this today with the 10-week group that were there about this word called propensities. All right. He's apt to do that a lot because that's what he's bred to do. It'd be like somebody asking, how can I get my reining bred quarter horse to quit stopping so suddenly with his hind feet dug way in the ground? Okay. So first of all, I wouldn't complain about his propensity. Second of all, what I would do is I would play with this horse on the ground until he gets basically what we need relaxation, relaxation and contact. The word contact can also mean concept. He gets the concept that what he's doing. For example, we played the circling game with a horse like this till he realizes that he ain't going anywhere. That's why a round corral works. That's why playing the circling game works online. Is they finally go around, they're going, this is to no avail. And when a horse turns his hindquarters away from what he thinks he should be doing and faces what he thought he should be afraid of, and we give him a second, they'll start dropping their head and licking their lips, and they'll go into a new modality. And I guess scientifically speaking, you could say now he starts getting going off of adrenaline, getting endorphins and starting getting dopamine in his system. But this all of a sudden trains his brain rather than his body. This is the reason our program works so well, is we get horses, because they're pattern animals, to get positive patterns. Another word for positive pattern is good habits on the ground. And then we transfer them to the saddle. So our four Savvies program, I would love to have Linda bring her horse for one of our either 1 or 2 week programs or a 4-week program. This would be be perfect. I'd love to see that horse and rider combination.
And Joanna from Arkansas, and again, Joanna must be new to the program, and this is going to be a bit similar, but her horse is extremely herd bound, and when she rides him, he won't even leave the pasture, and he's stubborn. How can I get him to focus on me a bit?
Same answer.
Same answer, yeah.
We are
acting like a.
We are psychology. That's our major. That's what we are. We're horse psychologists. We're behavior experts. And so if you go to our website, get and find out, and just try our program, where you can have a free 90-day trial, get our our level 1 slice. Just try the exercises on the ground. You're gonna. I know it doesn't sound like it from your question, Joanna, but believe it or not, it's getting your horse to bond to you and to look at you as you are the alpha member, and therefore you're in safety. And that's where the answer is. Russ from the USA, that's a big place. What are the types of courses offered at the campus? Are there recreational courses as well as professional courses? And what are the different lengths of courses? Very good. We have 1 week long courses, 2 week long courses. We have.
You can string them together. You can go 1 week, 2 or 3, 4 week.
And for recreational riders and horse lovers, we have. There are 1 week long, 2 week long courses are designed for people to learn how to get from levels 1 to level 3. All right. Yeah. Then we've got courses, our 4 week long courses, and our 10 week long courses are to help people immerse. Foundation of Horsemanship and Horsemanship Intensive are to help people to get to level 4. But most of the people, I would say 80% of the people that do those courses actually are trying to become professionals at another time. So we have those. Linda and I are going to announce after we get back from Switzerland when our VIP courses are coming and when our master class courses are coming. Linda's going to do one. I'm going to do one, and I believe I'm going to be doing a Western performance course again this year. So we will be announcing those in about a week and a half. So we do have lots of different courses that are available. The matter of fact, at the end of this, which we've got about 12 more minutes, we're going to offer a really special offer to you. That's the only thing I can say. I want you to stay tuned because we're gonna give you a chance to find out what kind of things, how maybe you and one of your best friends or your spouse can come,
or one and the same,
yeah, can come and spend some time with us this summer in Colorado.
It's quite the opportunity. We'll get to that.
Teresa from Sweden.
Yeah, she says, I'm coming obviously from overseas. Do I need to bring my own equipment, or can I buy it there? Is there equipment for loan?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Good question.
Yes, yes, and yes. You know, if you're going to lease a horse, I would prefer, one of my horses particularly, I would prefer that you use some of our equipment that we have, or buy the equipment that'll fit the horse. You know, we use the Parelli branded saddles, which have a flexible tree in them, and it's the only saddles I ride. So it's what my horses, and that's what I recommend people use. So we'd love to have you come.
Yeah, it's funny. It's interesting now. We probably get nearly half of the folks that come are coming from overseas. Now, there's such as the demand, which is wonderful, but it is a challenge. But yeah, we can get your loan equipment. We can do all sorts of things. And the other great thing is the Parelli network, especially on Parelli Connect. You can reach out. People will help you. We've had terrific support from folks. Yeah. So don't worry. Look, Teresa, if you're going to put the effort to get yourself over all the way from Sweden,
we'll help you any way we can.
We'll make sure we look after you. So don't worry about that for sure. All right. Tell us a little bit about a typical schedule during the day. What's a typical day at the ranch like?
Well, you know, I don't want to tell them about the reveille and, you know, at 5:30, you know, when, you know, I don't want to, no, that's how do they do it?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's not quite like MASH, but it is an immersion.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah. Get it. Everybody wake up. Okay. So first of all, we have a light breakfast, and then we have a lunch at 1 o'clock. And then suppers at 6 o'clock. So that's the meal part of it. But the classes are in between those times. And so there are times when we, you know, get everybody concentrated and we do a classroom session or a, you know, something,
theory.
train the brain, theory session.
But before all that, what do we normally do in the morning, first thing? It's not actually reveille, but do something special.
Well, I'll let you tell.
Well, there's something we have done, and we've had courses when we did do it and when we didn't do it. But one of the hardest things to get folks to learn, and that's what you've got to do. You're coming often from a long way, and you've invested time and money into it.
People you
to
don't
learn,
know.
the only way you really learn to take home with you is we've got to get you to relax as well. And it's not just about the information.
You're not going to tell them about the massages and the steam baths, are you?
Well, it doesn't sound like that, but,
okay.
But we will do some things that are a bit, I'm not going to say they're from left field. We've got to get you to relax, because if it's just about the information, that's tough. And one thing we have learned over the 20 seasons doing this is that we've got to get you to drop your head and lick your lips as well, not just your horse. So we'll do name games so you can start to feel familiar, because you do feel awkward when you arrive. But pretty quick, we do some things to break the social ice. We'll do some games, we'll throw some balls around. At first you feel a bit awkward and a bit self-conscious, but we've learned through experience, it breaks down the barriers and people start to get friendly. They start to smile and take themselves not so seriously. And guess what happens? When you start to relax, it's only then really you can take in the information. And here's what you will do. I'm biased, but I've made some friends for lifelong friendships. And we now have people that come back every year as a reunion. So of course it's like the horsemanship, but the older I get, I like the relationships as well. So it's a pretty intensive, like Pat said, there's theory, there's detail, there's campfires, there's lots of fun things. It'll be something you never forget. So hopefully that helps you a day in the life.
I actually think that the social part of people have made friends for lives.
Some have got married.
So, some of them, absolutely.
More than once.
More than once, and you know the camaraderie, the feeling that people have, that to me is the thing that I hear people talking about the most, that they get that.
Yeah, and folks, we're going to run out of time pretty quick here. So as Pat said, we've got something special to share with you, but just a heads up, as I said, this is the first time we've been able to do this for several years. It's the first of many. We're excited about it. This is open to everyone. As I said, we'll have some for instructors only, but also special webinars for members as well.
Now, before we get into that, we've got, for the people who signed in, if we got your email address, we're going to send you a special gift. And as many of you know, we have developed a thing that you can take, you get in your levels pack where it has all the patterns and you have this big thing. Our company has come up with if you have a smartphone, we can give you a PDF where you and everybody that's on this.
PDF, you know what a PDF is?
I don't know what it is, but I know they do. And the PDF is going to give you all the patterns. So when you're out there with your horse, you can look in on your smartphone, just go like that. Some people's smartphones are even bigger than that these days. And you can start to have. So I want to make sure that everybody gets a free gift.
So what are they going to do? Tell me again, because
they've got to give us their email address. I believe they may have already done that.
So if they do, then we send it to you and you can download it to your phone.
And now we want to tell you about something that if you will give us
we've got a prop here.
Yeah, your email addresses and send it.
You get a prop here.
Give us all your details. We are going to send you something really, really special. We're going to give you, start writing this down.
A bit shaking it.
Okay, I'm trying not to shake it. Please write this down, because what we're going to do is we're going to give you a special offer, and it'll explain everything how it goes, so that you and or one of your best friends, or even if somebody already asked the question, here, I'll let you hold it. If somebody asked the question, can I even take advantage of doing this twice myself? Whether can I be my own best friend and apply this to a second course? We're going to save the details. You have to get this is the Paul Harvey part of me. For the rest of the story, you have to send your details to this here. It says Parelli.com/Colorado Courses 2015. Parelli.com/Colorado Courses 2015.
And that means you guys that are helping supporting us here, if once you do that, we'll send you an email within the next 24 hours, correct? In the next 24 hours, and in that will obviously be a blurb, but there'll be a video as well, something special, and a special message for Pat, and a couple of opportunities to think about. There's going to be a red hot one for the weekend, and another one that extends over the next 14 days. But look, it's something, if you've been dying to do it, we hope we'll get you, we'd love you to come, and another one for you to ponder and tell your friends. Have a look at it. Like I said, Pat's the address.
Once in a lifetime opportunity, and All you have to do is go here, give us your details. It'll be sent out to you within the next 24 hours. It's a cool video, all for free.
And if you don't hear, and you will, but let us know. Ring us, let us know. And here's something else. If you've ever had a friend, one of the funniest things when I first got into this, I couldn't find anyone else to do it with me. They were all too cool for school. They didn't understand it, and I was in such trouble. I just wanted to get help. But I would have loved to have someone come with me. So if you know someone or you've had someone that's interested, maybe share this with them. Register for yourself. We'll send you the email, but please forward it to people that you think would enjoy it or need it, to be frank.
Yeah.
Horses is a wonderful thing, but it's not stamp collecting, folks. They're big and they're dangerous.
Yeah. And
if they're acting like prey animals, your dream can turn into a nightmare. So we're in the business of teaching people so the romance and the reality can be bridged. And this is where I brag on you a bit. There's people like you, but in the last 30 years, yourself and Linda have done more to get people to look at life from the horse's point of view. And when I got into this game, I couldn't believe that it was all about a bigger bit, another saddle, another tie down, and no one said, well, what's in it for the horse? And I think this is where you and others, like I said, but especially you and Linda, you've taken it to the world, and you've got the world to look philosophically different. And I don't know what that means, and I know there's still a long way to go, but that's what this is about. It's about an ethos and a way that makes a difference, and that's what Pagosa Springs is about.
Well, and as a success coach, the most gratifying thing is the amount of people we've helped be safer, help solve problems with their horse, have more fun, get handier or feel more accomplished or be more accomplished, become competitive, or become professional. Those are the things that people, that I know over the last 35 years is what our program, I've helped, and then now with Linda's help, to develop a program with all of our instructors, with all of our staff, with all those things we have. I mean, look at this. We have a media department here, so we can even do this. Years ago when we tried this, it was a hard time. I remember you had to sit on the bicycle and make the electricity go. It's all fun and intended.
Pretty close, actually.
The technology's on our side. Everything is on our side. But we've got a program now that has really helped people either solve problems, get more confidence, feel safe, have more fun, be more accomplished, become competitive. Look at Loren Barwick, went to the Paralympics, came back with silver and gold. My son Caton is
Luca Mineta is now winning in the Global Champions Tour.
My son Caton, who had a stroke when he was 12 and had hydrocephalus, he is winning against able-bodied people in 5 different events. So, whatever the goal is, and all the professionals that we have around the world, folks, we're here to help you. Thank you for attending our webinar, and we're going to have lots more in the future. And anything you would like to suggest for us to have webinars about, that's what we need you to
let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah.
And you can either go to the address here. This is the one for the courses. But go to Parelli.com and ask us for things that you would like to request.
Yep. And the good thing is now, folks, this is a conversation. For a long time, it was just someone talking to someone. But with social media, Facebook, Parelli Connect, your own network, let us know what you thought of this. Hopefully, Pat's been able to help with his horsemanship advice. And if you've got suggestions, there's going to be more of these in the future. We'll do some webinars and some special courses. So a lot more to come.
And I'm going to see a bunch of you in November in Australia. So we're coming to Australia. We're going to be doing a lot of things.
Good thing you said
there.
that, because Sue, and that's in November, a national tour of Australia in 4 of the states.
Yep.
As we said, in a week's time, we'll be one day at Pat and Linda Parelli in Switzerland. So we'll be coming and seeing you soon, but stay tuned, folks.
Thank you, guys. May the horse be with you, and keep it natural.
Bye, folks. Till next time.